Hi everyone, my name is Chris Martin. Welcome to Keto with me. It is day 7 on my journey back into keto. If you're new to my channel or this series, please take time to go back and look at my day 0 video. It gives you the ins and outs and reasons for me doing this series. All right, now it's time for my clip. All right, folks, that was my day 7 clip. So I got some pretty exciting news to share. I lost another 2 pounds. Again, probably, some water weight, but overall this week, I lost 9.4 pounds. It feels really, 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 really good to share that. So I know water is probably most of it, but still, I'm headed in the right direction and I'm super tickled. Some other numbers to share. I had, 8.0 or 80 on the ketone strips. They actually are right here. So that's again at the darker range. So that was pretty good. I went back and looked at just kind of like how much I ate carb-wise for the week. It was like 21 was the average. So I'm really tickled about that. If you remember from my goal sheet that I was expecting to just be happy to be under 60, and I exceeded that. So I'm getting into the goals here, so I shouldn't do that. I wanted to just quickly recap the week. If you remember, I started out around 234.4, and I steadily lost, weight over the week. I also was able to get into ketones after get some ketones after 48 hours, which I thought that was good. I went through the keto flu. I feel like I'm coming out of it. The middle of day 7, probably around 11 a.m. I just felt this burst of energy, and I had energy all the way until, probably about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then, just tanked off a little bit. And then when I ate dinner, I kind of spiked up again. So, definitely it really helped to work through, some of those things on the keto flu. Just glancing at my notes here. Tomorrow starts week 2, so I'm looking forward to changing some things up. You'll see I'll change my goals. I'll adjust, some strategies. I'll get more accurate on my testing. So, and, I'm phasing off of the exogenous ketones. So you'll see that for day 8 going on. And if for some reason I come off of and they just seem to, I seem to tank really bad, I'll just go back on until, I'm through the flu, so to speak. That's it for week 1 and day 7. So let's get on to talking about my goals. Let's get my goal sheet up here. So right off the bat, you can see that under sleep, I've got 6 and 1. I think I might have actually woke up twice, but I was in such a deep sleep, which is a good sign, by the way, that I don't actually remember. So, but either way, I'm going to take it as I'm still making progress. I cannot wait for that particular category to you know, just like where I'm just telling you guys, man, I'm sleeping good every night, you know, wow, it's just phenomenal. So, all right, moving on to, you know, the eating keto category. You'll see again, skipping fasting for now, but you know, we're getting close to that point, you know, here sometime in the next, you know, maybe this week, maybe the following week, I'll start implementing some fasting. My style of keto is still lazy, dirty with elements of clean. Again, we're going to change that up for next week and try to do as much clean as we possibly can. But again, I'm not going to beat myself up if something happens with that. So macros, I was all week long, I just was hoping to be under 60, and I was able to keep it, as I said earlier, an average of 21, which is, you know, really good. And it just happened to be, you know, day 7 was 21 carbs. So, you know, I dropped down to the best category for that day, but overall for the week, you know, I feel like it did, you know, phenomenal to be, you know, to be doing that kind of average. So, every day I've been watching a video, researching it, reviewing it, and even you'll find out today, I was able to, I looked at a video that I've never seen before, so it's really good that, you know, I'm looking at other folks and, you know, seeing what they got to say. So moving on down to the tracking category, I'm really happy that I was able to, all week long, continue to do the, you know, solid tracking here, solid tracking in my chronometer app. And then, you know, that just gives me a better picture of what's going on, you know, and helps me not forget anything. Sometimes it's a little tedious, especially when you're trying to calculate things like yesterday we had, you'll see on there that we had homemade chicken nuggets, and I'm sure somebody might say something about like, oh, you're eating breading, you know. I took, you know, I went through great pains to make sure that I had the absolute minimum amount of carbs. You know, we use almond flour and, you know, and just made them ourselves, so we didn't have to worry about trying to do that. And the meal was, like I said, we're trying to keep the family doing some keto too. So the meal was geared more towards, you know, the kids, but at the same time, it was still delicious. So anyway, moving on from the tracking category, let's talk about meditation. There was 2 times yesterday I was able to do, you know, 10 minutes. I was able to, and then also to do another 5-minute one. And then lastly, no exercise yet. I'm not really sure when that, you know, when that's going to happen. Like I told you in day 0, I had so much energy before I started doing P90X3 so I could burn off the energy. We're just not quite there yet. I'm hoping sometime, you know, I can get back into that, but not a requirement. Weight is lost in the kitchen, not in the gym. That's it for my goals, folks. Now for my video recommendation. There's a Dr. Dan Maggs, who's a general practitioner in the UK. You know, has a video that's called 9 Signs You Are in Ketosis. It's about 9 minutes and 13 seconds long. I found it to be pretty enjoyable. I hinted earlier that, you know, I was going to share a video of someone that I've never watched anything from before. I really enjoyed his video. His basic premise for the video, or goal for the video, was to, how do you know you're in ketosis without having to do, you know, like strips or the ketone blood meter when you prick your finger and you test it that way. He said there's 9 signs, or he called them symptoms. So, and not all of them are bad, you know. So, but you're going to recognize some of them from the keto flu that I've been sharing this week. So, the very first thing on his list is actually the keto flu. You know, he made a little joke about it that, you know, that, well, yeah, it's the flu, you feel bad, but it's not really like the flu, because, you know, if you have the flu, it's way worse than that. We all get it. We give these things nicknames. So yeah, you definitely feel like bleh, you know, for lack of better words. So that is symptom number 1. I'm not going to give you all 9 of them because I think it's a good video for you to go out and check out yourself. I'm just going to point out the ones I think are important. The number 5 on the list, because keto flu was 1, number 5 was insomnia. I wanted to share that one because that was something that I struggled with for a few days there where I was, just not able to fall asleep and so forth. So, and then on the last three of the signs or symptoms actually are like positives. So one being decreased appetite. That's why, I started out with like 60 grams of carbs, as my thing, but I ended up doing 21 because the more and more I went through the week, the easier and easier it became for me not to have cravings. I did have cravings, folks, but not as bad as I remember the first time. So that was number 6. So, and then last I want to give you, I don't want to give you all of them again, is I meant to say there's 4 positive ones. So there's 5, kind of negative symptoms, and then there's 4 positive ones, not 3. And the number 9 is probably the most obvious one, is weight loss. So you've seen, me throughout the week, lose 9.4 pounds, and that is definitely a really good, sign or symptom that you're in ketosis. If you're doing the keto diet, you're probably doing something right, at least in this direction of things. So he also goes on in that video to give you some, great tips. He has a little worksheet that you can download. I really, like I said, I really liked the video. And it does help. I do think though that once you get into keto for a while and you start doing it seriously, you'll probably end up doing, maybe starting out with these strips or something, and then moving over into like using a ketone meter where you get more of an accurate reading and stuff. You're going to see that actually for day 8 on. I'll start to use that and share that with you. So that's my recommendation for today as far as the video goes. Again, I really enjoyed it. I think you'll like it a lot. And that's it for day 7. Thanks for taking time to watch the video with me today. Please like and subscribe to Keto with Me. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them below. And just remember, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning. And always be a coach, not a critic, and take care, folks.